My husband and I conceived after divorce, conflicted and heartbroken. This is long. I'm sorry, I've sort of written a novel here. I wanted to post this in a relationship advice group, but the subject matter isn't allowed. My ex-husband and I were married for 10 years, although the last 2 were spent in variations of separation. We've been divorced for roughly a year. We have 3 kids, 10, 8, 5. I'm pregnant with our 4th baby. I don't know if we'll actually be parents to 4 kids or not. I'm so conflicted. We are so conflicted. There was no abuse or cheating in our marriage, although he did sleep with somebody else during our separation. There are a variety of other reasons why we ultimately got divorced. After the initial feelings of failure and heartache, and there was an immense amount of heartache on my end. Despite being the one who filed for divorce, we were able to get along pretty well. It became platonic so quickly, and it's like when we removed the romantic and married relationship from the equation, things got so much better. We split time with our kids 50-50ths. That's really hard for me because being mom is such a huge part of my identity that I still sometimes struggle to know what to do with myself during his time with the kids. Ultimately, I'm happy that he's a loving, involved father, and I'm glad that they do spend half their time with him. Even if I still sometimes cry over not being with them all the time. We still do things together as a family. Sometimes, we sit together at our kids' activities, things like that. He has a girlfriend now. She seems nice. He let her not long after our divorce was finalized. It hurt. I cried way too much over it. He waited over 6 months to introduce her to our kids, which I was thankful for. My kids like her. Our youngest child was unexpectedly admitted to the hospital not long ago. He had surgery. In the grand scheme of things, it was a pretty minor surgery, and he's absolutely fine now. But this is my baby, and he had to spend multiple nights in the hospital, so this was a big deal for me. My ex-husband was there the entire time, being a great dad, being a supportive partner to me as I worried over every little thing. We spent all those nights in the hospital together, and I remembered why I married him. He was always able to be the strong, level-headed rock for me. He was this safe person who I knew would take care of everything and protect me. When we were in the hospital, he told me that I'm the most important woman in his life, still. When our son was discharged, my ex-husband came back to my house. My baby was home safe. Our other 2 children were excited to be home. After staying with my husband's sister for several nights, we were all together at home like a family again. That night, after our kids were in bed, we had sex. I hadn't been hoping for it or planning it. It was just like as soon as the kids were tucked away in their rooms, we were having this intensely passionate, needy, amazing sex that we shouldn't have been having. We went to sleep in my bed, and at some point in the middle of the night, we had sex again. The next morning, we both decided our emotions with the whole situation with our son just got the better of us. We said we didn't regret sleeping together, but that's all it was, and we were just going to go back to our normal divorced lives. We wouldn't make it awkward, just move on. Then I found out I was pregnant. We didn't use a condom. I don't even have condoms in my house anymore. I'm not on birth control. I haven't been since we divorced. I haven't needed it since I haven't had the time or interest to start dating again. I really wanted to be single for a while. I know I was ovulating when we slept together, which was probably a contributing subconscious factor as to why it happened. My body sees him being a good dad to our kids, and it wants another. My cycle is like clockwork, and we've always conceived on the first try, every time we've tried to get pregnant. Our first kid was not even a try. It was a 2 weeks before your wedding. You find out you're pregnant and spend your honeymoon with morning sickness. Surprise! So now I'm about 8 weeks pregnant. I've known for about a week. I just told him this past weekend. I didn't know if I would tell him at all. I realize now that I only told him in hopes that he'd tell me what to do and figure the situation out for me. Only he didn't. I know it makes no sense to have a baby with somebody I chose to divorce. I don't need a 4th child. Why can't I let go of this though? Comment. The girlfriend has a right to know about the infidelity so that she may decide for herself whether or not to leave. Yeah, I have to agree. I would want to know. Their relationship is still new, so she could just cut and run without too much heartache. Hopefully. I feel for her, but that is his responsibility. Hopefully he's honest. He seems honest. Maybe with the divorce so fresh, he was not really ready to be in a new relationship. Anyway, this is not about him. I digress. Nope. Don't listen to these people. You have to co-parent with this person. Outing him to his girlfriend is going to blow that right up. He can deal with his relationship. You need to protect the relationship that could possibly make your life hell for the next 20 to 40 years. Besides the fact that this relationship may run its course without you getting involved. Your main concern is your children and keeping you and your ex in good standing, so you don't make it hard on everyone. Mind your business. I don't know, maybe just me, but I think girlfriend will notice when she's waddling with a big belly and he starts bringing a fourth kid home on his days. Lol. This isn't a secret to keep, unless she terminates. The girlfriend will eventually figure it out. I'm not saying I disagree, but someone needs to tell girlfriend ASAP. Seems appropriate, and he cheated on his partner. If you keep this child, it will miss out on all the things its older siblings got, and then some. You will have to explain a very weird situation to this child as they get older. If your ex-husband stays with his new partner, it's a whole new set of trauma you don't need to put yourself or your kids through. If your identity is being a mom, then you would have realized that before screwing up so badly. You are seemingly a very emotionally driven person, and you need to start thinking logically. His reaction and yours read to me that you can no longer overlook your single night of passion anymore. It will be read as you still have lingering feelings, which it seems you do at least, and will definitely cause hardship overall. It will reopen old wounds, especially for the kids, since you were the ones who initiated the divorce. If you have another kid, it means more family court, less money for the other kids, and even more issues that you probably shouldn't be getting into. Your ex's response is appropriate, and he's right. You don't need a baby. I don't know what the right answer is for you. However, your situation prior to the pregnancy sounds a lot like mine. My ex and I were at each other's throats before we divorced. He was not super involved with our kids. He was a pretty heavy binge drinker. He wasn't supportive or even nice to me most of the time. At the end, however, after the initial hurt of the divorce, he changed. He had the choice to continue down the path he was, or step up and be a good dad and co-parent, and that's what he chose to do. We co-parent. Great. I'm unbelievably proud of us, and I'd say we're even friends. I've said it before, and I'm not ashamed to say it again. If he was the man then that he is now, we would still be together. Hands down. If this is the case for you, I think the baby is a blessing. Good luck to you all. I hope it works out. Story 2. A man I really liked asked me to be exclusive, just to break it off within 3 days and tell me he preferred my coworker. I am devastated. I feel like an idiot. This man and I had a history of casual on and off dating for the last 3 years. I never figured it would go anywhere past that, even though I really cared about him and we have intense chemistry. Over the summer, he upset me due to some miscommunication. We had a long talk where I discussed that even if we were not exclusive, I needed us to act like adults and communicate clearly. We agreed to meet for a drink. He stood me up, then went ghost. Wouldn't respond to my calls or texts. I was hurt by this, but after 2 weeks of silence, I finally bit the bullet and blocked him on everything. Previously, we would frequently run into each other around the city. Our friend groups intersect, and we attend a lot of the same events or hangouts, but our paths did not cross, and he remained blocked for 2 months. I was sad, but figured we would never speak again, and that was it. A few weeks ago I was hosting an event, and he showed up. I noticed him, but did not acknowledge him. I figured you did not want to talk to me and actively dodged me weeks ago, so why try and speak now? Halfway through my event, he corners me, asking why I blocked him, apologizing. saying he realized his feelings for me were just too strong, and that he wants another chance. Blah, blah, blah. Like an idiot, I fell for it, and the next day I agreed to be exclusive. We spend most of the weekend together getting along, watching movies, running errands at Target, doing a lot of normal couple things I have very little experience with. I'll be 30 next month, and I've dated a ton, but never had a serious boyfriend. So much of this was very refreshing and a bit anxiety-inducing to me. It was nice to have company for a change. I told all my friends I was in a relationship and politely let the man I had recently been on one very nice date with that I was off the market. All for nothing. After the weekend, he texts me, not even a phone call, to tell me he had done a lot of thinking at work that day and realized he still had really strong feelings for this other woman he had dated over the summer, my coworker, and that he was sorry for leading me on. So am humiliated. Feel free to tell me how utterly stupid I am in the comments. I know I am. I've always prided myself on having firm boundaries and not really letting men manipulate or walk all over me. But one finally got through, because to be honest, I love this man. I can't believe I fell for this. He never cared about me. I'm in tears typing this. My spirit is broken. My friends tell me to just not think about it and that it will get better. But it's been a week now and I'm still frozen with heartbreak. Comment. Oh, don't worry, you just dodged a bullet. Feeling like this is completely normal. Even I felt like this after discovering that my ex was cheating on me with the guy she met barely a month before, ruining a 2-year relationship. With time, you will realize that is really better like this, and you have no fault at all. Sometimes people are just corrupted. It's just the waves of grief. They're the strongest in the beginning. I've experienced these waves even being in serious relationships. It's just part of dating, marriage, etc. Right now, you have to just fake it till you make it. You're doing great with the hobbies. Keep distracting your brain. Get to the gym. Take everything you're feeling out on the treadmill, or even a Zumba class. Lol. And be kind to yourself. He was likely confused about his own feelings, and whatever choice he made, it doesn't define you or your worth. The two of you just weren't a good fit. You deserve someone so much better. Just keep moving forward, and try to enjoy the ups and downs of the journey you're on. It's normal to feel this way. Personally, I find that listening to sad music helps me to feel better, but your mileage may vary. Just remember that you're not responsible for his ignorant behavior, and that you deserve to be treated so much better. It's his loss, and you're better off without him. Until recently, you had blocked him and successfully moved on. Unfortunately, his reintroduction elevated your hopes. Personally, I believe this setback has more to do with you feeling embarrassed and humiliated than losing a true love. Even with that, there's lingering sadness for sure. In the long run, though, if he's that flippant and non-committal, I believe he did you a favor. He strikes me that he sees himself as a player, which is not what you need going forward. Pause, step back, and collect your breath. Mr. Right will come along when you least expect. This guy wasn't Mr. Right. He's nowhere near being ready to settle, and perhaps he's the type that never will be. That's not who you need or are looking for. Good luck, and take the time to enjoy your 30th birthday. This is a painful life lesson. The guy who ghosted you is the same guy you liked. In the future, you can set boundaries for yourself that you won't tolerate being treated disrespectfully. Stop dismissing poor behavior and telling yourself a guy's good qualities outweigh his disinterested, dismissive behavior. All of a man's behavior matters. Civility and respect are reasonable to require in all your relationships. A more intimate, more vulnerable relationship should be safer than your more casual social relationships, not less. Please take time to understand your thought processes and feelings. That led you to give another chance to someone who has treated you hurtfully. You need and deserve one committed partner who fully accepts, values, and loves you. This guy wasted your time and diverted your energy from being open and available for a respectful, safe, monogamous relationship.